This picture here came to me actually when I was at home before I actually made the journey across, and the images came to me over about a couple of months, and I had this strong image here of a woman, and she's definitely Celtic from this area of the world, and so what actually happens is my process, I surrender to whatever images are coming, and I just allow the medium to build up that image. And here you see she's very what do you call this word? Reflective. She's reflecting on her whole life, and the colour purple here in her body is actually the healing power of this woman, this female entity. She has the moko kauai on here, but it's not quite finished, and that's because she hasn't yet brought her children forward. She has here in the stomach area the fern symbol, which is the symbol of fertility, and so she has all this potentiality going on in her, but also she has water, and there's a great deal of water that you can see through the texture in here. It's raining through her, so she's got all this process going on with herself to prepare, to make herself ready. Green is also the colour of the Godstone, and it's used to distill spiritual power into the person, positive energy in, filtered energy, negative outwards. And the colours are quite deliberately in the water element, and that's because the woman symbolises the tides of life. But also through her, this proverb from my own tribe is he wahine he tatau pounamu, a woman, a spiritual doorway. And when she conceives life, and gives birth, she is opening a doorway to the sacred. And so that people of the house of tomorrow can come through her as the gateway. And here you have all of the guardians of this entity. Over here is the second element of this entity here. This is the complete spiritual self, standing always at the side of the woman, the female. You see there it's genderless, and that's because in the spiritual world it's not constructed in the same imagery or symbols of the physical world, because it's this formless state. So here we have form and formlessness, but as one integrated whole. Now, in terms of becoming ready with this part we call the whare tangata, the house of people, it's important to actually get our spiritual self in alignment. And that's because, let's say, we are bringing forward Te Ira Atua, in the image of the Creator, and which is perfection, which is spiritual. And we beget Te Ira Tangata, which is the seed descent of people. So they merge the formless with the form. And we always have our guardian right next to ourselves. This power that's direct, it's what's the word? It's unburdened by ego and personality. And this is the self we need most of all, with the gift of life that we carry. And so the legs in here, you can see these legs, they're very, very strong. They actually are like the trunks of a tree. Because what we're doing, we're merging when we have children with the cosmic tree of life. We're adding to the branches. The water here coming through is actually, water is a cleansing symbol as well as a blessing symbol, and we use it a lot in all of our rituals for clearing the path, or what we call te wairia. Here we have the tuatara in between the spiritual self and the physical self. And the tuatara is trying to merge the learning between the two. That's the bridge. And here we have the manaya, and the manaya is a guardian, a kaitiaki, very strong, masculine kind of energy as well. And it's standing there suspended in the waterfall. And you have this constant flow of water that's in the life of a woman, in the way that she moves, she glides when she's at peace with herself spiritually. And then here is this her deep water. She stands in always water, so that her life is fluid and flowing. And we know people like this. We see them, and everything they touch, everything they do flows like water. The way they speak, the way they touch other people's lives. There's a constant flow, but it's always respectful. And when I got here and I met Claire, I knew that was actually, this is Claire. And I hadn't known anything about Claire, and then she said a little bit about her, what had happened to her this year, and how fitting it was that this taonga be gifted over to her. And this is something that's happened to me with my work like this. Images come for somebody, it's not necessarily for me. And I don't always know before I meet the person what their story is, but it seemed to fit quite well with where she is in her journey. And so I think these elements here emerging from the water are lifting. They're lifting the energy back up into the woman. Sometimes it washes down and through her, but sometimes it needs to come back up into her again. And we see here it's coming through the centre of her, and it's like the centre of her whole being is needing this rejuvenation, this re-energizing that comes from the living water of the spirit, which sometimes we think is not part of us for whatever reason. But water is our potent symbol to remind us we are two rivers running, the mortal and the immortal.